What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is KreaTiveAuto. Behind me I've got my 2000 Chevy Silverado, and today we're going to be installing some shocks on it. I ordered my shocks from Summit Racing. Here's the problem. See this? I'll even match them at the same eyelet. That's a problem. This one's brand new. It looks like they sent me a used one. So unfortunately, I won't be installing my rear shocks on this video. It will just be my front ones, or I might just do them on separate days. We'll see how the video turns out. But let's go ahead, let's jump into it. I'm really upset about this. Summit, count your days. Before we actually jump into the video, I want to show you guys which shocks that I got. Obviously, like I said, I'm replacing the other one, so this is just to show you guys what I have. There will be a second shock for the rear end to go in, so ignore the fact that there's only 3 showing here. But for my vehicle specifically, I've got a 6-inch rough country lift, and I have the rough country shocks. They're just not doing it for me. So I did a lot of research and I decided to go with the Bilstein 5100s. I don't do a lot of off-roading, but I will in the near future, but very, very minimal. So if you're like me and you really don't do that much off-roading, you don't do that much towing, stuff like that, you really use your vehicle for a daily, I would suggest doing these. Part numbers that I have here, this is the front end, is going to be the 24-185950. These are specifically 6 inches for the front end. This one for the rear is gonna be 24-186636. So that's for your rear end. This one is gonna say, I believe, 3 inches to 6 inches or something along those lines, but it extends all the way out to 29.92, I believe, inches. So again, make sure you guys are getting the right part number for your vehicle, for your lift, so on and so forth. So for me specifically, this is what I'm getting because it fits my setup. Your setup may be different, but the installation and things like that should be the exact same. So let's go ahead and let's just jump into it. So first, I'm gonna give you guys a visual of how this is gonna go. It's very easy, very simple. I'm personally not jacking up my vehicle. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. I'm not doing it though. You're gonna start here. It's a 15mm bolt. Here, it's gonna spin. So you wanna grab some vice grips or something like that just to hold the shock into place so that way it doesn't move on you while you're taking it out or installing it. Then, coming down, I know, ignore this, I have control arms coming in. Don't you talk about me. Keep your mouth shut. Coming down, you have, I believe it's either a 21 or a 22mm bolt and nut on the opposite side over here. That's all that it is to take this thing out. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna put my vice grips on. Kind of try to put them out the way a little bit. Grab my 15mm and let's loosen this bad boy up. Got that out. Now we're gonna move down to those 2 21mm bolts. All right, so now move down to the bottom 2 21mm. All right, I got my impact here. And I've got my other socket that I'm gonna put on the other side. So, get in there, find that sweet spot. All right, let's see. Bam. All right, bolts out. All right, so moving back towards the top, I'm gonna take this guy off. I'm gonna take this guy off. And there's another bushing on top here. Take that one out. And then you're gonna have to basically compress this guy to bring it out. All right. So let's go ahead and get this new one installed. Before we do, let's grab our bushings here. We're gonna grab 2 here, the washer and the bushing. The washer's gonna go first. This is what's gonna sit on the bottom of the bracket that separates the top bushing and the lower bushings. So you're gonna put this guy here upside down, like so. Then you're gonna grab this one. Make sure this nipple part, you see this side is flat. This nipple part is gonna go facing upwards. Just like that. Once you're gonna put it in, then you're gonna grab the other 2 bushing, or the other bushing and washer here, and it's gonna go on top, facing downwards like that, with the nipple on the bottom, and then the washer on top facing that way. So I'll show you guys right now. All right, I'm gonna do my best to get this all in one view for you guys. All right, so I'm gonna slide this guy through the top of the control arm here, the upper control arm. I'm gonna slide it down here, and let me grab my my bolt. So I'm gonna grab the bolt, line that up, push it through. And on the other side, you can't see, but I'm just putting the nut on the other side. All right. So now we're gonna come up here, and we're gonna do the same thing, but backwards. So I'm gonna compress the strut just to get it under here. This one's a lot stiffer. Hey, good Lord, it's a lot more stiffer. Hold on. Hold on. Shit. All right. Whew. That was no joke. All right, so now I'm grabbing this bushing. We're gonna put it in this way with the nipple facing down. And then the washer facing down. All right, now I'm gonna grab my nut, and you're also gonna grab an Allen key. Your Allen key is gonna go at the top here. So that way, when you're tightening the nut, it doesn't spin. So it's the same way how we did with the vice grip on the other one, except this one, you can't really clamp onto anything because there's obviously a rubber boot there. So let's go ahead, tighten that up. I'd say there is good. Yeah, about there. So that guy's in. Now we're gonna do the bottom one. Just a quick interruption. I didn't record securing the lower bolt and nut, but if you've been following along with this video, then you should already have it installed, and all you should have to do is tighten it up and get on to the next step. All right, guys, moving on to the back of the truck. This is gonna be your aft shock here on the passenger side. Same concept. You're gonna have a bolt and a nut here. If you go up, same thing up here. I'm gonna start off at the top and leave the thing that's keeping it compressed. I'd leave that on until you're ready to get the bottom on. So I'm gonna use this camera here to finagle this guy in here. Alright. Just a little bit of wiggling. All right, so now I'm gonna cut this guy, and in theory, you wanna be pretty quick to getting the bolt through so that way you don't have to compress the strut. I'm hoping I get it right on the first try. If not, it is what it is, but let's see. I've got my bolt handy here. I've got some scissors right next to me. All right. I'm gonna try to keep some pressure on it too. Okay, so it's not even free. Ah, shit. Yep, I missed it just by that much. So now I've got to work a bit harder. Son of a bitch. I realized that I didn't get the recording of me getting this actually installed. Essentially what I did was I grabbed my jack and I used it at the bottom of the shock to help push it up to get it lined up for me, and then I got it in there that way. So if you do have a jack at home and what happened to me happens to you, I would highly, highly, highly suggest doing that. If you have a second set of hands that can help you, I would suggest doing that as well. I'm sure there's a lot of different other methods that you guys can do, find or approach, but that is what I did. Hopefully that helps. That's going to conclude today's video. I thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out.